you don't think you got any ads. That has been happening a lot where nobody is getting ads, and I don't really care that much. Like, I'm not really doing it for money. I'm doing it for turning off the pre-roll ads, which does actually affect a lot more people than the people who are apparently getting the auto ads, but that's okay. How do you manage all the container stuff? Containers, images, volumes, how many times there are leftovers or dead projects? All the time. And so my mentality is that I should be willing to clean up and just delete all of my containers and images and networks at a moment's notice. So I just do that all the time. Like, basically for this project, when I started it, I had a ton of things and I just deleted most of them just because it's easy, and I don't think it's healthy to get into the mindset of I must have this container up for all the time. Like, it's supposed to be ephemeral, and the code is supposed to be what's more important for it. And also, like, if you have data, then that should go into like seeds or, you know, migrations or stuff like that. So you can recreate whatever you need really fast. So that's the answer to me, is I just delete it really fast. You care what people think too much? If you're caring what people are thinking a lot, usually, to me, what that usually means is that you don't have evidence yet, and so you're in your head about like what is actually going to happen. There's a leadership skill, or one of the leadership skills is courage and running towards danger. And so if you think about like, okay, I'm going to be courageous and I'm going to put myself out there, and, you know, nothing's going to happen. Most likely nobody's even going to read the articles right away because, heck, new stuff on the internet, there's so many things out there. The chance that somebody's going to discover it unless you advertise it is really low. And so therefore you can put something out there, anything out there, and nothing bad will happen. And then over time, yeah, sure, you're going to get some trolls and they're going to yell at you, but you've been, hopefully by that time, protected enough by like, oh yeah, see, I've been doing this enough and nobody's hurt me. And then eventually you can get to the point where when somebody does come in and tries to hurt your feelings on purpose, you want to be able to have people that you can go to say, hey, is this person real? And then all your friends and family will tell you, no, they're stupid. And then you just ignore them. That is cultivating leadership skills. Like that's a really big part of leadership, is to be able to handle that kind of stuff. Also, being a manager and a teacher helps. Like, you get that all the time. Okay. This time, mapping a port from our host machine to the container. We will need okay, so let's stop this. Now, I ran it with, the IT. Okay, so this is the one I want. Do that. Okay, so that removes it and prepares us. So let's now start this over again. Actually, I will probably want to start from up here. Okay, so we do our Docker PS, we have our names. Oh yeah, I did the Docker PS one incorrect, so I really wanted this one. We have our tender Newton. Then we remove that one, and then we're good to go. Okay. Okay, so we'll use the -p host port container port command. Okay, Docker run. So now we have our -p, and let's do port 3000 to, just to make it very different. Here, let's do actually 3020 to 3000 inside. Okay, so that opens it up, but we have a problem when we run cd/code npm start. We have a problem there. So that'll be the next thing. Oh, I need to remove the main thing. Okay. So we do that, we go there. Okay, so we cd/code, we run npm start, it starts. Okay, that's great. Okay, so there we go. We have fixed that in a different lesson. So exposing ports. I need to set environment variables next. Let's see. I just want to document my journey and stuff, show employees and help people and stuff. It feels good. People love when you help them. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good motivation for doing that. I have the same problem sometimes where I can't like necessarily tell if people are serious or not. So I usually default to serious until I'm proven otherwise. And hey, sometimes it makes me look dumb because I don't get jokes, but that's okay. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that a lot because I don't really have a choice otherwise sometimes. That's the cost of like making that assumption. How many monitors do we have? Yeah, so it's not easy for, oh, you know what? I can show you my setup. Do I have anything on the screens? I don't think I have anything super special on the screens that I don't want to share. So Zilby's not here. So I have his camera that I can show. So first off, that's my setup. It's a 4 monitor setup. Too small to see? Okay, hold on. I can fix that. I am hand holding this camera, so it's not going to be super steady. So sorry about that. But we're going to switch to large cat view. Oh, with the 3-minute break. Hold on, let me fix that. No break. Here is the view. So hopefully that was a little bit easier to see. Look, I'm on the screen. Exactly, yeah. So it's a 4 monitor setup. I have a 30 something 40, I think it's 30 something monitor is my main monitor right in front of me. It's a 4K monitor. I have a 27 above it. And so whenever you see me looking up, I'm either checking OBS to the left or I'm checking YouTube chat to the right. And then to the right over here is Twitch chat and my Twitch dashboard. And then over on the left is my MacBook window that I have as a sort of like a private window that I can just do other stuff on. Oh, what's that thing I touched? That is a Stream Deck, not a Steam Deck. It's a Stream Deck. So it's basically one of those small things that has little buttons. All of the popular streamers are using them these days. They're not the cheapest things in the world, and I didn't buy the most expensive one, which has like 32 buttons on it. Yeah, this is the 15 key one. Yeah, $150, which like to me is like, oh, this is a lot. But like a lot of people, the professional streamers use it's like 30, 80, like there's a lot of keys on it. Do I use a green screen? I do. So I do have a green screen behind me. And like if like you can see, there's just a closet behind me. And it's a green screen, just a standard green screen. And then I have 2 studio lights that you can kind of see every once in a while on the other side of me, because when I have the Zilby cam on, sometimes the angle these on forces those to be in view. Okay, so setting up environment variables. That's next. All right, so maybe we start with like environment variables. Context. Okay, context dependent data. No, wait. I already did that. Hold on. What am I thinking? Port equals. There you go. Okay, so we can now query the health check route for this app, for this computer, and see it respond. Okay, so let's actually do this over here so you can all see. We're going to do a curl. It is a GET request, so we're going to do to HTTP localhost 3020 slash health check, like that, and then we get the status I am healthy. Okay. Perfect. Let's see. OBS scenes, one Zillage. Oh, I have a bunch of OBS scenes on there. So like I have a starting soon screen. I have multiple starting soon screens. I have like the one that I hang on to the most is the Mac main scene. But I have some other ones too. Microphone doesn't include a scene. No, those are all sources. So like then the other things are sources. So I have I use the Mac goes to a splitter. The splitter goes to the monitor in front of me, and then also a desktop computer to the right. And then that that way I can see exactly what you see, but not having to look through OBS for that. It is hot in here in the summer, but I'm also in the basement, so it's always cold. So I actually have a heater on, but it's past 1 p.m. here. And on weekdays after 1 p.m., the local electric company switches our electricity to mid-level expensive and starts charging more for every little bit of electricity. So I turn that off because the heaters are probably pretty bad. Obviously, if I could turn off like the lights and other things, it would be cheaper, but you know, hey, it would be hard to see me quite as well if I turn those off. But yeah, down here in the basement, it's always cool. Which is why like even in the summer, you usually see me like bundled up in sweaters. Like I'm very only when it gets above 100 outside do I start like being able to wear like t-shirts down here. You only get charged more for power after a certain amount of usage per month. Oh, that's so nice. We get charged on weekdays that are not holidays between 1 and 7 p.m. more. Yes, the light isn't great for me. I don't think it's that great. Now I do have diffusers on them, and I want to play around with the lights a little bit more to like sort of send them off to the sides. So I'm not really sure better ways. Like the light over there is pointing that direction, but this light is pointing pretty much directly at me. I do notice sometimes that this eye gets a little bit more tired and sometimes a little bit more red. Oh, yeah. We haven't gotten those alerts yet, but it is supposed to be super cool. Actually, today's getting warmer. It is above freezing right now. Well, that's super nice. It might actually start melting some of the snow outside. Okay, so we have this and we're able to curl for it. So now we can access, okay. All right, so we have access to that with a .env. Okay, so we're good to go. Okay, so set a working directory when running in a container. Yeah, that could be pretty good for next. Although, you know what? Oh, we should take a look at the logs. I bet if we were to look at the logs now. Okay, so that's actually. I don't know if that's gonna work. Will this work if I do code? No, I don't think it will. So let's do, okay, so we do want to do W. So, okay, working directory, and then we can run the thing. So working directory / code. And then we can go to, oh, let's also put this into daemon mode. And then okay, code, we'll do npm run start. Like that. And then we'll be able to do our curl to our health check, and then we get that. So that would be working directory here. Hey, insomnia, no. Down to negative 38C on the weekend. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, yeah. It was pretty cold for us too. What is negative 38C in Fahrenheit? It got to -9 Fahrenheit for us, which might be around negative 38C is negative 40 Fahrenheit. Oh wow. Okay. So we were negative. Oh, is that where they become equalized to each other? That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so this weekend we were -9 Fahrenheit, which is fairly cold because, if we remember, Fahrenheit 32 is the equivalent to 0 in C, which is that's all. 0 is already cold. You have two tariffs. Overday, it is much more expensive, so people schedule a lot of things to do after 9. Okay, yeah, each county or each like electric company sort of like changes how they do stuff. Yeah, so 0 is freezing for C, and then 32 is freezing for Fahrenheit for F. Okay, so we run D, run chart, and with that W. Okay, so this is a pretty simple one. Okay, so we do that. Now we're gonna come back to here. Let's Okay, so now we can do Docker run again, but instead of we're going to do Docker npm run dev for this instead. We'll be able to do our curl command to health check. We can update this to have less exclamation points. And then run you again. So curl that, and there we go. Okay, so at this point we can continue working on the application, and we wouldn't need to continuously manually. All right. Viewing Docker container logs. Do we have any logs in here right now? No, nothing like that. So if I try to, let's say, get all, unable to acquire a connection, and then if we take a look at the logs, then we can see what that is. Okay, perfect. Is this all local? Yes, this is all local on my system. No internet connection required. I guess like the only internet connection that's been required for this is when I did the npm installs, because that goes out to npm itself. But everything else is all local because you can, like, once you have it on your system, it just runs. Another really positive about Docker is that it's just on whatever system you're running it on. Now Docker is not, especially on Linux or Windows, Docker is not cheap to run. And by cheap, I mean like it's expensive for your CPU and your memory. On Linux, it's a lot cheaper, but if you have like a very cheap machine, or you like are very low on memory or CPU, even on Linux, it's going to be not great. Oh, you're talking about the markdown files. Right now, yes, this is local. I am saving this between streams to a private GitHub repo for backup purposes, but eventually I'm going to upload these all to my LMS and then have them there. But yeah, so far this is all local. Okay, I think that's all I need there. What do you mean is all local? Yeah, so that the question was about the markdown files themselves that I'm writing here. They're all local. What software do I use with a green screen to make it blend in the video? I'm using OBS. So OBS allows me to I can filter out any color that I want. So I'm filtering out green. I do have, like, so for example, if I wore a green shirt today, then I would be gone and you just see the head, which would be, that would be funny, but it's not, it would be a little bit weird to watch. And this is the same, I do not use the Streamlabs OBS. I use OBS Studio. So Streamlabs OBS is, it's OBS, but with the Streamlabs stuff mixed into it. I don't use Streamlabs at all. So I just go straight to OBS. Okay, so let's see. Now, what do we need? So I have that. Connecting two containers with a network. That would be the next thing to do, is now connect two containers with a network and add that in. That's not what I want. Ooh, okay. Definitely not what I want. A lot of people still do use the OBS Streamlabs version, but because I don't use Streamlabs, I would rather just use OBS itself. I've heard mixed things about the OBS version of Streamlabs. I don't remember that. I think there was drama about it a short while ago, but I don't remember what it is. I never really paid that much attention to it. So I just run OBS Studio because it's like the OBS. It doesn't have any extra stuff created from it by Streamlabs, so I don't have to worry about them doing anything to it. But if you use Streamlabs itself, then obviously you're probably going to want to use OBS Streamlabs. How are you streaming to all apps? I am using Restream.io. So Restream, I stream to Restream. Restream then streams to Twitch and to YouTube at the same time. I'm not paying Restream at this point in time. I've been considering it though, because by default for free, I'm allowed to stream to two different destinations simultaneously. So Twitch and YouTube right now. If I add in if I pay them, I can add in multiple sources. So I can also stream to LinkedIn, for example, or Twitter, X-Twitter, or Instagram, or places like that, or Facebook. I don't have, I don't know what the value is. LinkedIn might be a good place to stream some of these too, because like this is sort of like businessy type stuff. It might attract the type of audience that I want to attract to. So like some of them might be better for others. I'm not sure. Your setup is similar. You just have one monitor. Hey, it doesn't matter, right? Like for this case, I collected these monitors over the years. So then I just keep on adding them in. But like at one point in time, I was doing one monitor too for the longest time, especially when I'm remote. If I take a trip and I go somewhere, I don't take another monitor with me besides maybe using my iPad as a second display. But generally speaking, I would just I'd stream directly from my laptop. What's the simple rule for it violates the one purpose. Okay, so I have a few networks here. And if I remember correctly, there are several networks by default. So